We're here at Glenbower Stables in County Tipperary, where Philip Fenton is masterminding Dunguib's exceptional career so far. 12 months ago, he stormed up the Cheltenham Hill to win the bumper against 23 touring rivals, and 15 of those have come out of that race since and have won at least one race. And the amazing thing is that Dunguib is carrying on in the same fashion since he's been hurdling. The feeling is that we're dealing with something truly exceptional. Philip, it's less than 2 years now since he made his racecourse debut. When did you, for the first time, think you saw something special with him?
Well, we brought him off to Limerick City for a schooling bumper, and a chap called Pat Harris rode him, and he was to go around mid-division and maybe stay mid-division. And he ended up coming down the straight paddock with his head swinging. And it was an atrocious, it was extremely heavy ground the same day. And by the time most horses got as far as the winning post, maybe 10 strides after the winning post, most horses were actually pulled up. But this fella went past the winning post, around the bend, into the back straight, and by the time he got him pulled up, he was nearly at the top of the hill at Limerick Racecourse. So, you know, from that day we thought, we have something nice here, you know. Yeah. Then 4 or 5 weeks later, we ran him at Punchestown, and we were satisfied with the result.
He was second that day, of course, wasn't he? The only defeat.
He was second, yes, he was second, and you know, he ran a bit keen, and I said to Brian, you may jump him off the mid-division, and the race was run at a steady pace. He was a little bit keen, and he was getting knocked around a bit. And you know, we felt he'd run a very good race, and we were happy. First of all, we were satisfied with being second, of course. And then, you know, we felt coming away from Punchestown that day that we possibly had the better horse, but we didn't get the result, you know.
Last time out, the jumping came under scrutiny, and what was your thoughts about that? Is it the fact that he's not going quick enough to jump them properly, or are we making too much of it?
Well, first of all, I have to admit, but his jumping was on the sloppy side. We had said to Brian, you know, to make sure that we can try and switch him off, and that way he might learn a little bit more. And he was very relaxed, and he was very sloppy at some of his hurdles. And we weren't so sure afterwards. We were trying to analyse to know, you know, why was he so careless? Because, you know, he'd schooled before he went to Leopardstown. He schooled brilliantly, and maybe we had done one piece of work too many, and maybe he was a little bit flat. Maybe I flattened by, you know, going to Leopardstown. So that's what we were trying to put it down to.
Yeah, his jumping was certainly below par in Leopardstown, but it's more so you rode him a little bit differently to get him to switch off and relax. And he was probably just maybe too relaxed, and you know, maybe a little asleep. But I think he'll be a different ball game come Cheltenham. He'll be alert and awake, and you know, he'll have his hurdle spotted a long way out. So hopefully, he should be better. And does he school well at home? Yeah, his homework has been very good. It was good leading up into Leopardstown. It's been good since Leopardstown. So no, I certainly wouldn't be overly worried about that.
And what's he like to ride? I mean, we love watching him. What's it like to sit on this V12 engine?
He's an unbelievable horse to ride. He's got an unbelievable high cruising speed, and just seems to be able to, no matter what gallop you go, you know, he just seems to be able to pick up and pick up again. So he's able to quicken off a good gallop and then quicken again. But no, he seems to be in a league of his own at the moment. Physically
as an individual, I mean, I've never seen him close up before, so it's been fascinating seeing him today. He's a real lean individual, isn't he? He wouldn't want to be, I guess you've been quoted as saying he wouldn't want too much racing. Yeah, correct, and that's why, you know, we left, you know, bigger gaps between his races, and he wasn't certainly over-raced this year, even though he was racing against very competitive horses. The whole idea was to give him enough of time between his races, and certainly not to overtrain him. You know, he likes to be fresh. He certainly would do maybe something like a half speed or a little bit more before he goes to Cheltenham. Right. And that's all. He certainly won't do anything stronger than that. Now, I read somewhere that you're thinking of putting earplugs into him to help him to keep the noise down, level down. It will be the first race of the whole week. Everybody's going to be on the edge of their seats, particularly with Dunguib being the hope of the whole of Ireland. And I mean, are you concerned about that genuinely? You know, we certainly don't want to leave any stone unturned, in the sense that we want to try and cover all angles. So the idea is, from the time the horse gets to the races and in the pre-parading, that he'll have his earplugs on, and possibly we might remove them at the start. Right. So that's the idea, because he is excitable, and I think that would just keep him relaxed. Do you feel there's an enormous amount of pressure because he's built up this sort of unbeaten sequence, and the fact is that he's never been extended and all this sort of stuff? I mean, it's almost as if we're wanting him to carry on doing what he's been doing, and this new wonder horse on the scene. I mean, do you feel the pressure, Philip? You seem very relaxed yourself.
Yeah, but I'm relaxed at the moment, and I suppose our main job is to turn up, you know, with the horse in good form, in good shape, you know, and naturally enough, the day is going to come when he gets beaten. So, you know, we're well used to getting beaten all our lives, so we'll be well able to accept that. But anyway, for him, of course, let's hope it's not. But let's hope it's not the 16th of March.